we like to get out the forecast app and not the weather app. We like to get a good gauge for where the upsets may potentially be this upcoming Saturday in college football. These are not predictions. These are more so getting a gauge for where things stand heading into the weekend. So for week 12, man, we had a little noon kick. Michigan at Maryland. Maryland is a 19-point dog. And the reason why this is on the forecast for us, there is just enough weird going into this game externally to make it a weird result. The whole Jim Harbaugh thing, at the time of us recording this, or time of us being live rather, like, we don't know if he's going to be on the sideline. We don't know if he's going to coach in this game, if he's going to be watching from a hotel somewhere, watching at the house, watching with his chickens. I don't know what Jim Harbaugh is going to be doing if he's in this game or not. So that leaves some uncertainty there. How does that impact the game? Also, you have a classic sandwich of letdown spot from a big win over Penn State, and then the look-ahead spot with Ohio State next weekend. So for Michigan here, how do they handle that? Typically, if we're just using our common sense here, there would be a little bit of uneasiness baked into this. Also, Maryland, 280 pass yards a game. Y'all, that's pretty good. Taulia Tagovailoa, he can sling the pill around the yard. If we see Maryland start fast and create some turnovers, that's the key piece of this now. If they can create some turnovers, this could be interesting in the fourth quarter. Remember now, this week, a season ago, Maryland in this same spot gave Ohio State all they could handle. Maryland ultimately lost that game. And then you look at Michigan in the same spot a year ago, played a better Illinois team than what they'll see against Maryland, but still had a little letdown there. So how do they look? We'll see. The main thing in this game is, okay, well, you got to stop the run if you're Maryland, right? You got to have some way to just not get absolutely bullied around the yard with Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards on that offensive line. I don't think it's about stopping the run so much as it is about creating extra possessions. This Maryland defense now taking the ball away 2 times a game. So don't worry about stopping the run. Just get the ball back is my thought of a Maryland, and capitalize when you do that. So keep an eye on that one. Still think Michigan wins the game, but that's definitely one to watch when it comes to this whole upset forecast. Let's stay in the state of Mississippi for this one. I say stay in the state of Mississippi. I mean, both these teams are from Mississippi. You got Mississippi State hosting Southern Miss. Southern Miss is a 14-point dog going to Starkville. I just wonder where Mississippi State's at when it comes to dealing with the circumstances surrounding their team. Because Zach Arnett is fired now, and Southern Miss are not great this season, but hey, don't look now, a little bit hot. Won their last 2. Where's the Mississippi State psyche at? Because anytime a head coach gets fired, or anytime you're losing mojo and don't have quite as much, juice internally after you just got throttled by A&M, I think 2 things can happen there. You have one, like a nothing to lose mentality, where the pressure you were feeling from weeks before of having to save your coach's job and all that, like that kind of dials back a little bit. Everyone's more loose, everyone's a little bit more free, and you just go out there and ball with your boys, ball with your bros, if you will. Or there is like the mail it in mentality of, okay, well, maybe I'll transfer next year. Maybe we should all kind of just pack it. Do we really want to go and play in a bowl game? Like, is that really something we want to push for? Like, that's kind of the scenario you could find yourself in if you're Mississippi State. Also at Southern Miss, is that really going to get them up and go? I'm just saying, I'm curious to see how Mississippi State handles that. If they handle it like some pros, then they'll be in good shape and they'll win the football game. But if not, Southern Miss will hang around, and it'll be interesting come the fourth quarter. Talking about an interesting game now, Texas goes to Iowa State at night. Jack Trice Stadium, Ames, Iowa, a difficult place to be on the road. Iowa State is a 7.5-point dog at the crib. Jared Hufford made some headlines, a little bit of bulletin board material for Texas. Jared Hufford is a Iowa State lineman, and he basically just spoke his mind when asked about the Texas game this upcoming weekend. He said, I don't think they know what's coming for them. I don't think they have a full understanding of what this place is at night. And he also said, we want to give them a nice little parting gift as they leave for the SEC. Like, make no mistake about it, Iowa State has a little bit of a quiet confidence, or maybe not so quiet confidence based on this bulletin board material. But this is their Super Bowl. And that's not to talk down on Iowa State. Texas has been everyone's Super Bowl. Oklahoma has been everyone's Super Bowl as they leave for the SEC next year. You want to give them a little bit of, a little bit punch to the gut before they leave your conference. Like, he was very clear and said, Texas, they just think they're better than everybody else. And, that was kind of the sentiment he was saying. And so this tells me a couple things. One, Iowa State is going to bring it. Second, Texas better bring it themselves. Like, this game has to matter as much to Texas as it does to Iowa State. Because we've seen the last couple of weeks for Texas now kind of just tread water, stay afloat. And that was okay when Quinn Ewers wasn't in the lineup. Last week, I think it was even okay because it was his first game back and they were up on TCU by a fair margin and they came back in the game. But like, this has to be the moment for Texas where I see a little kick from them. Like, okay, we've tread water. Our quarterback had one game to get acclimated now. Sounds like he's probably coming back. Like, let's lock in now. Let's handle business. Because this is a spot now for Texas. If you don't bring it, if you just kind of stroll through a few quarters and kind of mess around in the fourth quarter like we've seen the last couple of weeks, Iowa State in that place at night is enough to leave you going back to Austin with an L. That spread, I think, indicates how Vegas feels with it being 7.5. So one score game in that sense. Keep an eye on that one. Again, has to be as important to Texas as it is to Iowa State. Now, Florida goes to Missouri. In Missouri, we just talked about them in the last segment, standing on business, Eli Drinkwitz and company. The Ricky Bobby rule, winners do what they want. He did what he wanted. And Florida now is going to have a chance, I think, to try and catch Missouri slipping a little bit. Because Florida, man, this is true to the song they play in the fourth quarter there. They will not back down. Like, we've seen that multiple times throughout Billy Napier's time there in Gainesville. This team will play for Billy Napier. Doesn't matter the score, doesn't matter the spot, doesn't matter what's at stake. They will go to war for Billy Napier. And Missouri now, if they're hung over a little bit from that win over Tennessee and they're feeling pretty good about being a top 10 team and the vibes are good and they're like, okay, we can kind of just roll through this thing. Florida has the personnel to beat them. Now, they may not have the better personnel, period, but I think in terms of what you would need to win this game, the way that Graham Mertz is playing, I think he's an extremely capable quarterback. We saw Florida push LSU a little bit there last week. Like, I'm just saying, if the defense can hold up their end of the bargain in this game, and Missouri doesn't start fast and doesn't have that same hunger we saw against Tennessee and against Georgia, they could get beat. This could be one of those surprising Billy Napier, put the stake in the ground kind of moment for the Gators. So keep an eye on that one. I think that's one to watch. And just by nature of the spots here, there's a couple of interesting ones. Like I said, Michigan, Missouri, both kind of in the hangover spots. Mississippi State, where are they at psychologically after the coach getting fired? Then Texas, hey, we got to stop treading water now. We got to get on a boat, got to find shore, we got to put our feet underneath us if we're Texas. And Iowa State will obviously test that. So those are the upsets that we're keeping an eye on this upcoming weekend. We're not predicting them. We're just saying keep an eye on those upsets as we move into week 12 of the college football season. Prize Picks bringing y'all the hard count today. Redeem code JD for 100% deposit match up to $100. Every single Thursday now we give you our Prize Picks plays. And I told you on Tuesday during our first live show, hey, we let y'all down last week. It will not happen again. So right now, guaranteed winners, guaranteed flex play hitting, and we'll give you our picks right now. So we got Bo Nix. His number is half a rushing touchdown. Bo Nix is charging towards the Heisman Trophy, in my humble opinion. I mean, he's on that campaign right now. Getting in the end zone for him, I feel like that's going to happen. So we're going to take the more there. And then Donovan Edwards, half a rushing touchdown against Maryland. Maryland, they struggle to stop the run at different points this year. Donovan Edwards, it feels like whenever you get in the end zone, it starts coming in bunches. He's been in the end zone as of late, has Donovan Edwards. We're going to take the more there for his half a rushing touchdown number as well. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Y'all that have watched this show, y'all that have been a part of these Prize Pick segments, like you know this, we root for good things to happen to good people. We want to see good things happen to Bo Nix, to Donovan Edwards, to every single individual lacing them up this upcoming Saturday. We want to see y'all ball and accomplish your dreams. That's what we do here. We're a good vibes show, right? We're not going to be Johnny Raincloud on different things throughout the college football landscape. It's a lot of positivity and good vibes here. So, Colston Loveland, we support you, brother. We hope you ball. We hope you prove us wrong. However, I cannot shake the thought of Michigan not throwing a pass in the second half against Penn State. They may not have to throw many passes in the second half against Maryland. His number is 33.5 receiving yards. We took the more on Colston Loveland's receiving yards last week. It did not hit. So we're going to kind of 180 it right now. Go the less on Colston Loveland's receiving yards. It would not surprise me if the more were to hit there, but we're going to trust our judgment here and trust the identity of Michigan, who they've told us they are, and we'll take the less there. So we're going to flex play this now. Flex play, beautiful part about Prize Picks, means we don't have to have every single square hit for us to make some money. If all three hit, great. we make 2.25 our entry. Now, if only 2 of those hit, we make 1.25 our entry. Cannot stress this enough. If you make a play this upcoming weekend using Prize Picks and redeem our code, send that to me on Instagram. Tweet that at me. I want to make sure we spotlight y'all's wins together. A lot of program wins, if you will. And we appreciate Prize Picks making that happen. Again, redeem code JD. No periods in between there, just J and D for a 100% deposit match when you sign up. A great way to support the show. So we appreciate y'all so much in advance for doing that. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.